Good morning everyone. How are you all today? I hope you're all well and fine at home. This is Ashar Khan, your SST teacher from Shiv Jyoti Educational Group Kota. And students, today we are learning chapter number 9 of geography, that is solar radiation, heat balance and temperature. So please open your books in front of you on page number 75. Keep your pencils ready in your hand because we will be underlining some important bits. Now, without wasting any more time, let us begin. Now, before moving on to the chapter, let us discuss a very important term that you must already be very familiar with, that is atmosphere. You all know that our Earth, that our Earth is surrounded by a blanket of air. Yes, you already know. This blanket of air is called atmosphere, correct? Now, this atmosphere serves two purposes, First purpose, that it keeps life essential gases like oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide inside, It traps the life essential gases, And number two, what the atmosphere does is it filters the harmful sun's rays, So this atmosphere, this blanket of air around our Earth, it serves two purposes. First, it traps the life essential gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen. ये उनको बाहर नहीं जाने देता है. Otherwise, life on Earth would not be possible, right? And the second thing it does is that it filters the harmful sun's rays. हमारे सन से जो harmful UV rays आती हैं, it filters them, it stops them there only so that the harmful rays does not reach us. Otherwise, it will result in skin cancer and similar diseases. Now let us discuss what radiation is. This is our first topic. Let us discuss about radiation. Students, in particularly winter time, what happens? You must use room heater, right? When it gets too cold, you use room heater. What happens then? When you turn the heater on, slowly, the entire air of your room gets warm, right? How is it doing so? Because there is a medium for heat to travel in your room, that is air. Heat can also travel through solid mediums as well, right? Your mother, when she cooks food, you will notice that the utensil that she is cooking food and the spoon that she is using, the spoon also gets warm because there is a medium for heat to travel, correct? But what happens in our space is different. You all know that there is nothing between the sun and the earth, We have our sun and then we have our planet Earth. There is no air here, no solid medium for the sun's rays, जो energy हमारे sun से मिल रही है, right? There is no way for it to travel. That is how we use, the process by which the heat travel from vacuum, the vacuum space, the heat travels through a phenomena called radiation. जो heat travel करती है हमारी from the sun all the way to the earth is called radiation. Let's move on. Please mark the first line of your second paragraph in your book. The earth receives almost all of its energy from the sun, and the earth in turn radiates back to space the energy received from the sun. Means whatever energy that we are getting from the sun, we either absorb it or radiate it back to the space. As a result, the earth neither warms up nor does it cooled over a period of time. Thus, the amount of heat received by different parts of earth is not the same. There is variation between which part of the earth receives the heat and which part receives less heat. We will see more in a bit. Now, let us move on to solar radiation. What is solar radiation? Energy that we are receiving from the earth is called solar radiation. So, come to that paragraph, solar radiation on page 75. The earth's surface receives most of its energy in short wavelengths. The earth's surface, that is this part, receives its energy from the sun in short wavelengths. We call these wavelength or energy, we give a name to this energy, we call it incoming solar radiation. Okay, the energy that we are receiving from the sun, जो energy हमारे को sun से आ रही है अर्थ तक, हम उसको एक name देते हैं incoming solar radiation, और in short we call it insolation. Okay, so from here on we will be referring to sun's energy which we get from on the earth as insolation. What is insolation? जो energy हमारी sun से अर्थ तक आ रही है in the form of heat. Please underline this in the second paragraph of solar radiation. Underline the entire para, 4 lines. Now you already know, student, that the earth is a geode resembling a sphere. Our earth is not perfectly round, it's a geode, which means it has irregular shape. Now the sun's rays fall obliquely at the top of the atmosphere and the earth intercepts a very small portion of the energy. As I just told you कि atmosphere का second जो function है वो क्या है कि वो क्या करता है, जो UV rays हैं, जो harmful rays हैं, उनको absorb कर लेता है. तो whatever energy we are receiving, a larger part of it is actually absorbed or reflected by the atmosphere, और हमारी जो earth तक है एक बहुत ही small portion पहुंचता है उस sun की energy का. Okay, so the atmosphere is actually very essential for us. Now, on an average, the earth receives 1.94 calories per square centimeter per minute. Now, how much energy we are getting? That is 1.94, okay, calories per square centimeter. That means an area of 1 centimeter square per minute will receive this much energy. How much? 1.94 calories. Please underline this as well in your book. Now, the solar output that we receive at the top of the atmosphere varies slightly in a year due to the variation in the distance between the earth and the sun. We all know कि हमारी जो earth है वो क्या करती है, sun के आसपास revolution लगाती है. Correct? This is very basic. You must already know this. Now, तो distance की जो बात होती है, that means how much farther we are from the sun. उससे भी असर पड़ता है कि how much energy we are getting. If the earth is farther from the sun, that means we will receive less energy. और अगर हमारी earth sun के पास चली जाती है, okay, that means we will receive more energy. Correct? So this next topic of ours, हमारा जो next topic है वो है perihelion and aphelion. Perihelion and aphelion. They are very easy to understand. So please focus here. Now, up until now, आपने पढ़ा है कि that our earth revolves around the sun, right? This is our sun here in the middle, and our earth revolves around it. Correct? But it is not so. The path that our earth takes is not this much circular. जो path हमारी earth लेती है sun के आसपास चक्कर लगाने में to complete one revolution is not circular. It's actually elliptical. How so? It's more like this, which I'll tell you. It's more like this, like an elliptical shape. Okay. Now, there is a point in time, there are 2 points in a year where our earth is at the farthest and at the closest. ओके, एक पॉइंट ऐसा आता है जब हमारी अर्थ सन के बहुत पास होती है और एक पॉइंट जब हमारी अर्थ सन के बहुत दूर होती है. सो इट्स अ नो ब्रेनर टू आस्क यू कि एट विच पॉइंट अवर अर्थ विल गेट मोर एनर्जी एंड एट विच पॉइंट द अर्थ विल गेट लेस एनर्जी. करेक्ट? व्हेन अवर अर्थ इज फारदेस्ट वी विल रिसीव लेस एनर्जी एंड व्हेन अवर अर्थ इज एट क्लोजेस्ट वी विल रिसीव मोर एनर्जी. नाउ लेट्स सी कि ये हमें कब देखने को मिलता है. नाउ द पॉइंट दैट वी आर फारदेस्ट, जब हम दूर होते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड द aphelion. Okay, when our earth is farthest from the sun, that is called aphelion, and we observe it on 4th of July. That means on 4th of July our earth will actually receive less amount of heat from the sun. Okay, and how much the distance is? It is 152 million square kilometer. So this is called aphelion when our earth is farthest away from the sun. Now what about this point? This is called perihelion. Okay, perihelion is observed on 3rd January. Okay, and our earth is approximately 147 million square kilometer away from the sun. Okay, perihelion when our earth is on 3rd January, it is 147 million square kilometer away from the sun. Now interesting topic to note here is that perihelion word is made up of 2 Greek words. Peri, which means near, and helion, which means sun. So perihelion literally translates to near the sun. Now students, let us see some more images on extra marks regarding these topics that we have covered. Now students, as you can see, this is a picture of solar radiation that we are receiving from the sun. You can see that our Earth's surface receives most of its energy in the form of short wavelengths called radiation, or that we learned, that term we learned, insolation, right? So all the energy that we are receiving, either it's reflected back, a very small portion of it actually gets through the atmosphere, and much of it is actually scattered around the atmosphere. Okay, moving on. We know that the energy received by the Earth is known as incoming solar radiation, which is also termed as insolation, that we have already also seen. Okay, now let's see the topic distribution of the solar radiation. See, amount of insolation that we receive from the sun, it is different in different parts of the Earth. Okay, it is not the same. On an average, our Earth receives 1.94 calories per square centimeter per minute. Okay, so the sun rays which are falling at higher latitude and the sun rays which are falling at low latitude will have different amount of heat. We will cover this in our next topic in a bit. Now let us discuss this perihelion and aphelion again. Okay, you all know at 3rd January, Earth is nearest to the sun, that is 147 million square kilometer during its revolution called perihelion. And on the 4th of July, our Earth is farthest from the sun, okay, 152 million kilometer during its revolution called aphelion. Okay, so this was perihelion and aphelion. Annual insolation received by the Earth on 3rd January is slightly more than the amount we receive on 4th of July. Now you will ask this question, that if we are receiving more heat on 3rd of January, then why don't we feel heat, right? Why there is winter in our area? It's very simple students, because when our Earth is on perihelion on 3rd of January, what happens? The northern hemisphere that we live in, India, which falls in the northern hemisphere of Earth, is actually tilted away from the sun. Okay, so the people who are living in the southern hemisphere, they will receive more heat, but it hardly feels anything in the northern hemisphere. Okay, I hope you understood, because it's a very genuine topic, that if on the 3rd of January we are actually closer to the sun, then why we are not getting more heat? We are saying that yes, we get more heat on 3rd of January, but we are not feeling it, because the northern hemisphere that we live in is farthest from the sun. So the people who are living in Australia, Africa and South America, they will feel more heat on 3rd of January. So students, up until now we have covered solar radiation and the phenomena of perihelion and aphelion. Now let's move back to our third topic, that is variability. Okay, our third topic is variability of insolation on the surface of Earth. Now, हमारी अर्थ की जो surface है, it doesn't always receives the same amount of heat. Okay, means जो heat energy हमारे पास आ रही है, it has variation. Okay, there are several factors which affect how much heat we are getting from the sun. Let us discuss these factors. So the first factor is the rotation of Earth on its axis. Our first factor which affects how much heat we are getting from the sun, the rotation of Earth on its axis. It's very easy to understand. We all know that our Earth rotates on its axis, right? That means there is one part of Earth which is always covered in daylight, okay, and one part which is covered in night. So you all must be like, it is very easy to understand that during daytime we will receive more energy, more heat. During night time we won't feel any heat or energy from the sun, correct? So the first factor, the rotation of Earth on its axis, how does it affect the heat we are getting? Because the side which is facing the sun will get more heat, and the side which is facing away from the sun, where night is observed, it will get less heat. So that was the first point. Let's move on to the second point, that is the angle of inclination of the sun's rays. Students, you are familiar with the fact that we have divided our Earth into two equal parts with the help of an equator, right? There is an imaginary line called the equator, correct? a bit higher here, right? The part above the equator is called northern hemisphere and the part below the equator is called the southern hemisphere, correct? Now then we have divided it into tropics, that is the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, and then we have our Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle. Now our second point is saying the angle of inclination of the sun's rays, means जो sun की rays हमारी earth पे पड़ रही हैं उनका angle क्या है? You all know that the rays which are falling on the equator are straight. सन की जो रेज हैं वो इक्वेटर पे सीधी आके पड़ती हैं, बट द रेज विच आर फॉलिंग ऑन दिस एरियाज द ट्रॉपिक्स, द रेज आर एक्चुअली स्लैंटेड, ओके? यहाँ पे जो रेज आती हैं सन की वो कैसी होती हैं? स्लैंटेड होती हैं. सो स्टूडेंट्स, जो सन रेज हमारे इक्वेटर पे वर्टिकली पड़ रही हैं, राइट, द रेज विच आर स्ट्रेट दे विल हैव मोर हीट एंड एनर्जी विद देम, बट द रेज विच आर फॉलिंग ऑन द ट्रॉपिक्स they will be slanted and hence will carry less energy. That is why people who live in the tropic, that is India, right, we have a subtropical climate, which means we have heat as well as good winters. But the people who are living in Antarctic and in Arctic and Antarctic, what happens? A very cold climate is observed because hardly any sun rays reach on the polar areas. Now the third topic is the length of the day. Our third topic, the third variation which affects how much energy we are getting, the length of the day. It's very easy for you to understand. We all know that our Earth day consists of 23 hours and 56 minutes, right? But for our convenience, we call it 24 hours. Now, is it the same throughout the year? क्या जो day hour and night hours that we have, are they the same throughout the year? No students. We know that in summer we have longer hours of day and during winters we have shorter hours of day, correct? So this is the third factor, which means how much day hours that we are getting, how much light hours we are getting, okay? In summer what will happen? We will get longer amount of daylight, that means we will receive more energy, but during winter time we will receive less amount of heat, okay? In the northern hemisphere that is, and hence we will receive less amount of heat. Number 4 is transparency of the atmosphere. Transparency of the atmosphere. We all know that our Earth atmosphere is actually transparent. We all know कि हमारी जो Earth है उसके आसपास जो atmosphere है, it is transparent. That means we can see the heavenly bodies, we can see the stars, planets, sun, right? But sometimes something happens which makes our atmosphere translucent or opaque, like fire. There is a huge fire near your area. Or as you must be aware, there were fires in Australia and America recently, right? So what used to happen? The smoke that was rising, जो smoke बन रही थी वहाँ पे, it clouded the atmosphere on those areas, जिससे कि जो sunlight वहाँ पे पड़ रही थी उन areas पे, which were now clouded. What happened? The sun energy could not reach those areas. And what happened? Means they received less amount of heat. So transparency of the atmosphere, ki how much transparent our atmosphere is also a factor in deciding how much heat that we are getting. If our atmosphere is transparent, agar aapka atmosphere transparent hai, that means you will receive good amount of heat and energy from the sun. But if due to some reason the atmosphere is translucent or opaque, what happened? You will receive less amount of heat from the sun. Now the fifth topic that we have is the configuration of land in terms of its aspect. Configuration of land. Very simple to understand, students. You know that our earth, the land and the water bodies that we have, they heat up at different rates, okay? The land actually gets heated up faster than the sea, okay? And the sea is it doesn't get heated as much faster as the land, okay? So this is also a factor in how much heat is being absorbed by our earth, right? Jitni heat absorb hogi, that means the energy that we are receiving is more, okay? So configuration of land configuration of land in terms of aspect. But the last two, however, have less influence on the variation as much as the first, second and the third one. These are the important topics, that is the rotation of the earth, the angle of inclination means how much where we are living, latitudinal areas, and the length of the day, how much daylight we are receiving. For example, in summer we have longer hours of day and in winter we have shorter hours of day. That means during this much time there will be a variation, means day and night, okay, where we are living and how much daylight or we are getting, okay. So these were the factors of our variability of insolation at the surface of the earth. Our next topic, students, that we have is the passage of solar radiation through the atmosphere on page number 76. So please open your book on page number 76 when we will discuss our next topic. So this is our next topic, that is passage of solar radiation. Very easy. You all know that to reach the surface of the earth, the sun rays have to pass through the atmosphere, right? Passage of solar radiation through the atmosphere. You all know that to reach our surface or even our eyes, the sunlight has to pass through the atmosphere first, right? But most of the sunlight is actually deflected by the, okay, most of the sunlight that we receive from the sun is actually deflected, and a very small portion of it actually enters the atmosphere, okay. Even that smaller portion is either refracted or split. यहाँ पे क्या हो जाता है, the water vapors that we have in the atmosphere, what happens, they split the light. That's why you see variation in colors. For example, in daytime you will see blue color sky and in evening time you will see red color or orange color sky. Why is that? Because the passage hai, the sunlight that is entering the atmosphere, it is getting split, okay. What is happening? It is getting scattered within the atmosphere. Next topic that we have is the spatial distribution of insolation at the Earth's surface. So students, our next topic is the spatial distribution of isolation at the Earth's surface. That means जो insolation, जो radiation हमारा sun से आ रहा है, how it is getting distributed on our Earth. As I told you, जो variation अभी हमने देखे, उसमें क्या हो रहा था, that it depends on the latitude where you are living. If you are living near the equator, as you can see clearly in this diagram, what is happening? The areas near the equator are receiving more heat. The red color and the black color signifies more heat, okay, more heat being received. But as you move farther from the equator, either in the Tropic of Cancer or Tropic of Capricorn, you will see the area turns yellow. This means now we are getting less amount of heat in these areas. And why is that? Because the sunlight that is coming to these area is slanted. यहाँ पे जो sunlight पड़ रही है वो straight नहीं आ रही है, वो slanted होकर आ रही है. But it is not the same at the equator where the sunlight is falling in straight line. तो यहाँ पे जो heat है सन की, वो क्या हो रही है, अच्छे से absorb हो रही है. That is why this area in particular gets heated up very well, and these areas receive less sunlight, okay, less sunlight and heat. And now if we talk about our Antarctic areas and Arctic areas, what happens? These areas receive less to no amount of heat, okay, almost no amount of heat is received by these areas, hence these areas are very, very cold. They are very, very cold areas. So student, our next topic is heating and cooling of the atmosphere. Okay, the sunlight that we are receiving, हमने अभी तक देखा कि जो sunlight हमारी अर्थ तक आ रही है, उससे हमारे atmosphere पे कुछ असर पड़ रहा है, right? Either it is getting heated or cooled. Let's see किस तरीके से हमारा atmosphere उस sunlight को लेता है. As you can see, insolation transmits the heat to the atmospheric layer. Much of the sunlight that we are getting either is absorbed in the air or it is taken by the ground, where the ground takes it and passes it along. अब हम देखेंगे, there are methods, right? There are different ways of heating and cooling of the atmosphere. There are three ways in which our atmosphere either gets heated or gets cooled. That is conduction, convection and advection. Let us learn about them. So students, as you know that our Earth, after being heated by insolation, transmits the heat to the atmospheric layer near to the Earth in long wave form. What happens when our Earth gets heated? Okay, जो surface है Earth की, when it gets heated, what happens? The air which is in contact with the ground, आई गेव यू एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ रूम हीटर, राइट? जो रूम हीटर है दैट इज द सोर्स ऑफ द हीट एंड उसके बीच में मीडियम क्या है? एयर मीडियम, राइट? सिमिलरली व्हेन आवर अर्थ सरफेस गेट्स हीटेड ड्यू टू द सनलाइट और रेडिएशन, व्हाट हैपेंस? द एयर ट्रांसमिट्स द हीट टू द अपर लेयर्स ऑफ द एटमॉस्फेयर। जो अर्थ है वो क्या करती है? उसके ग्राउंड की जो हीट है वो लेयर, एटमॉस्फेयर की जो लेयर्स है उनमें भेज देती है। अ वेरी सिंपल थिंग टू अंडरस्टैंड, व्हेन यू कुक समथिंग, ओके, जब आप कुक करते हो, यू पुट अ स्पून इन इट, व्हाट हैपेंस? सून द स्पून गेट्स वार्म एज वेल। आप देखते हो जो स्पून है या एनीथिंग which it get warms as well. Why is that? Because जो medium है, now there are two bodies which have different type of temperature, our earth which is heated and our atmosphere which is cool. So what happens if the two bodies share a medium? अगर ये जो दो bodies हैं इनके बीच में कोई medium है which is connecting these two, what happens? The heat will flow in both the bodies until either they both attain the same temperature or the contact is broken. What happens? जैसे कि you take a hot bowl of soup and you put a metal spoon in it. What happens? The spoon will also get heated until either the spoon is at the same temperature as the soup or you take the spoon out of the soup. Okay? So the transfer of heat continues until both the bodies attain the same temperature or the contact is broken. Please underline this paragraph. Heating and cooling of atmosphere. The first paragraph, this process is called conduction, where the heat is getting transferred through a medium. This process is called conduction. Okay? Now let's move on to convection. What is convection? The air in contact with the earth rises vertically on heating in the form of currents and further transmits the heat of the atmosphere. When our earth gets heated, see what is happening when our earth gets heated. Okay, the cool air hai, we all know that the cool air comes down and the hot air rises. So what happens? A cycle takes place now. जो कूल एयर है वो क्या हो जाएगी? नीचे आएगी, अर्थ की सरफेस से कांटेक्ट में आते ही वो गर्म होगी एंड देन इट विल राइज अप. ओके, दिस साइकिल विल गो ऑन एंड ऑन. दिस इज कॉल्ड कन्वेक्शन. इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड वर्टिकल हीटिंग, राइट? नेक्स्ट प्रोसेस दैट वी हैव इज एडवेक्शन. What is advection, students? The transfer of heat through horizontal movement of air is called advection. Convection is vertical way of heating, advection is horizontal. What happens? You must have heard about land breeze and sea breeze in earlier classes, right? What happens? जब sunlight पड़ती है land पे, the land gets heated, right? जब सनलाइट हमारी लैंड पे पड़ती है, द लैंड गेट्स हीटेड एंड देन व्हाट हैपेंस? वो जो गर्म हवा है ज़मीन की वो ऊपर उठ जाती है एंड देन द कूल एयर ऑफ द सी रशेस टू इट. जो गर्म हवा है वो वैक्यूम बना गई वहाँ पे, नाउ देयर इज नो एयर देयर एट दैट एरिया. देन जो कूल एयर है वो क्या होगी? वहाँ पे रश इन करेगी एंड व्हेन द कूल एयर विल कम देयर, दैट विल ऑल्सो राइज अप बिकॉज ऑफ द अर्थ सरफेस जो कि हॉट है, वो भी क्या हो जाएगी? ऊपर उठ जाएगी एंड सून अनदर साइकिल विल टेक प्लेस दैट इज कॉल्ड द horizontal distribution, okay, horizontal movement of air. Example being, in India we observe Loo, right? The hot gust of air which flows in our area like in northern or western India. Why is that? Because of the different temperature of the wind. वो wind क्यों move कर रही है? So student, this was it for our video lecture. The rest of the topic we will cover in our next topics, okay, in our next videos. I hope you all learnt well, the topics were cleared. I hope you all marked what I taught you to mark. Okay student, thank you so much for watching. Please take care.